Coming home to the United States, you probably heard about this on your social media feed. Spirit Airlines saying they're filing for bankruptcy. So this announcement comes as that budget airline struggles to recover from slumped sales that happened largely during the pandemic and then those much publicized failed attempts to merge with other carriers. Spirit now faces mounting losses and looming debt payments. CBS News MoneyWatch correspondent Kelly O'Grady joins us live right now to have a conversation, to put the Spirit in the Spirit Airlines conversation. Kelly, holiday's right around the corner. If I'm watching this report right now, streaming in the palm of my hand, I'm wondering, what about my ticket? What happens?
Yeah, so Reed, don't panic. Okay, so the good news is that this is unlikely to have any impact on customers who are traveling for the holiday season. I am, so thank goodness. But the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, this is really about helping the company keep operating while they're able to restructure. And so that does mean potential cost cutting in order to be able to get out of debt. So the one area where I would keep an eye on this, Reed, is that this bankruptcy process is expected to wrap up around March of 2025, March of next year. That means that the cost cutting is going to have to come fast and furious. So the only area, if you are traveling on Spirit Airlines, is just keep an eye on what's happening with your flight. There is, a tiny risk that some of these cost cutting could hit routes, could hit layoffs for staff. That could impact you somewhat. But the CEO has come out and said, look, we are trying to keep everything humming along as normal because they do need that cash to help with all of this restructuring. So just a little bit, to keep in mind, but should be smooth sailing this holiday season. I
think just leave maybe even an hour earlier than planned. Park it at Cinnabon just to be sure, right, Kelly? All right, so while we have you, let's talk about Wall Street on a Monday as President-elect Trump names his cabinet picks. A lot of investors are trying to unpack the choices that are coming out of Mar-a-Lago as it relates to the incoming administration. That impacts sectors. Can you tell us a little bit more about how some of his picks are rocking the Wall Street a little bit?
Yeah, so this is interesting, Reed, because we saw that big post-election rally. The indices, they were on fire. We've seen a little bit of a pullback in specific sectors in reaction to some things that we've seen. So Elon Musk, right, he is going to be involved in this Department of Governmental Efficiency. Tesla stock is up. That's a bit of a bet on him and some of the things that we're going to see, his influence on President-elect Trump. But it's interesting because that goes against what we're seeing in the EV sector as a whole. We have heard reports, as the previous reporter said, that President-elect Trump would try to roll back the EV tax credit. So that's kind of where you see one cabinet pick standing out versus the rest. Another one is the pharma sector. RFK Jr. Has been tapped to lead the Health and Human Services Department, and he has been known to be skeptical of vaccines. And that's where you're really seeing some of the companies like Pfizer, like Moderna, those stocks dropped at that nomination because, well, hey, maybe we aren't going to see as much money invested in that area. I will say, Reed, the markets, they can be a little bit reactive. They're up one day, they're down the next. So it's not to say that the post-election rally won't continue through the end of the year, but we are seeing investors parse through this a little bit more. It's going to be more complicated than just all up or all down.
All right, and I'm also hearing on social media we have a new player here called Blue Sky, and a lot of people flocking over to Blue Sky. Tell us about that as we look at the changing tides in social media and perhaps a new platform for new conversation.
Yeah, so we're seeing Blue Sky really emerge as a potential competitor following the election. You're seeing a lot of users leave X because they're upset with the fact that Elon Musk might have a more outsized role in this next administration. They're frustrated with some of the conversations post-election on the platform. And Blue Sky was actually the brainchild, this research project within Twitter, now X, back in 2019. What I will say about this is all about staying power. So we're seeing users flock there, but we've also seen users leave X, leave other platforms for Threads, for whatever, the platform of the moment is. And it's going to be really interesting to see if Blue Sky can capitalize on this influx of users they're seeing, or if this is just a flash in the pan and then users just go back to where the conversation is, Reed.
All right, Kelly O'Grady, thank you so much. Always great to have a conversation with you, starting out our week the right way. Thank you so much, my friend.